Okay, what is AI? AI stands for Artificial Intelligence. Duh. Right, but have you ever thought what that means and what counts as AI and what doesn't? Is ChatGPT the first AI? Well, in this video, I'm going to give you a simple overview and then dive in a little bit deeper in the next few. Artificial intelligence is really something that takes input, like a question or something, and give you an output, like an answer. But not all AI is smart in the same way. For example, a calculator is a simple kind of AI. You ask, what is 2 plus 2? It gives you 4 every single time. No thinking, no guessing, it just follows the same logic rules someone programmed. This is what we call programmed AI. It does what's told, nothing more. It can be quite large and complex, such as the Deep Blue computer that beat humans in chess. But the idea behind it is not complicated. In the case of the computer that beat the human in chess, Deep Blue, it doesn't really do anything that mimics thinking or reasoning. It literally brute force its way to winning by using if-then rules. If this scenario happens, I will do that. And it remembers millions of scenarios and moves. This is not really the type of intelligence that we're focusing on. We are focusing on a different type of AI that can broadly be thought of as learning AI, which is way more powerful. And ChatGPT is one of those. Okay, so what is ChatGPT? Well, ChatGPT is just a name, like a brand, like Toyota. It doesn't represent all cars as a concept, it's just one brand of car. In this case, ChatGPT is an AI made by a company called OpenAI. It just so happened to be the first one that's out in public and the most famous one. And it runs on something called a large language model, like a car runs on an engine. I'll explain what that is and how it works in a second. There are a few other big AIs like ChatGPT, just like there are other types of cars. Okay, Google has one called Gemini. The company Anthropic has one called Cloud. Meta has one called Llama. DeepSeek from China has one called, DeepSeek. The company has the same name as the AI. But they are all built under the same main idea, the same principle, the large language model. So, what is a large language model? To keep it simple, a large language model is a program that reads a lot of data. I'm talking a lot. Every piece of information online, books, chats, YouTube comments, anything it has access to. And then, based on your input, your request or question, it learns to guess the output, one word at a time. That's it. So it doesn't think like the way we do. It just learns from having access to a vast amount of information. You start typing once upon and ask what comes next, and it knows with high probability that the next few words are going to be once upon a time. You ask, what is a dog? It's going to tell you it is an animal. Because out of millions of similar questions you already gathered, animal is the most common answer. If you were to ask it to give you more detail, it would say, it's an animal that is also a pet, because that's the most common description it learned. Now, ChatGPT is just one model, like one type of car that runs on combustion engine. There are a bunch of other cars, on air quote, that runs on different engine, large language model. But each is a little different, just like there are 4-cylinder engines and 8-cylinder engines. Some are made for speed, some are made for saving gas. Same with AI models. There are a few fundamental basic ones, and each is tuned a little differently. They have slightly different access to data, and are tuned in different ways. One type might be better at writing stories. One might be better at solving math problems. One might be more serious and scientific. One might be more casual and friendly. As an example again, OpenAI has ChatGPT, Google has Gemini, Anthropic has Cloud, Meta has Llama, and DeepSeek has DeepSeek. X has Grok. Now, how is this large language model growing and start doing reasoning? And what about all these other AIs that can generate images or videos? Well, those are called generative AIs, and that's for the next video. That's where I'll talk a bit more about how large language models are improving, what generative AI is, and how models like ChatGPT are starting to do more than just text. They are becoming multimodal AIs that can handle images, videos, sound. So when you're ready, move on to the next video. And make sure to subscribe and ring the bell.